Guys, how's it going? So today I want to share a little bit about how to find your photography style. Okay, so I really think there are two main components to your style. There's like your editing style, and then there's like your posing, like experience, like how you are in person kind of style when you're actually shooting a wedding or shooting a photo session. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into how you can find out each of these styles and figure out like what style you are and how to hone in on that for you and your business. So for editing style, the first thing that I would kind of look at is, are you drawn to more light and airy images, or are you drawn to more dark and moody images? I think this can tell you a lot about what kind of style that you naturally like and what really speaks to you. Or maybe you're somewhere in between. Maybe you don't really like dark and moody or light and airy, but you're just something sort of in the middle. So I think it can be really helpful as a starting point to just figure out where you're at and where you're at in what style you like and where you kind of want to go with your business. So with that, I would really encourage you to bring some photos into Lightroom and just kind of play around with different settings. See what different settings do. See when you do different things, if you end up liking that, if you end up not liking it. That can be really helpful in just figuring out your style and what kind of settings in Lightroom are really going to help you achieve that style. If you're having a hard time figuring out if you like, like bringing your exposure up more, or maybe bringing it down, or bringing up different sliders, if you're not really sure, getting presets can really help you and going in the right direction. So if you like a light and airy style, or if you like a film style, or if you like a dark and moody style, or somewhere in between, find someone who already has a really similar style who are selling presets that can help you in the right direction. I know for me, I never bought presets because I just prefer to play around in Lightroom and figure it out for myself and kind of know what all the different sliders are doing. But I do think they can be really helpful, and I think that I would have found my style a lot sooner if someone were offering presets that were really similar to the style I have now. I actually do have presets. It's not a plug really about, like, this whole video is not about my presets, but if you are interested and you like my classic light and airy style, I do have them in my shop. I'll put a link below. But that can be really helpful in just helping you to achieve your style more quickly because they already have figured out a lot of those different things, a lot of the tips that have helped them achieve their style, and it can be really helpful in just getting you to achieve your own style too. So I would encourage you, if you do get presets though, to definitely tweak as you go and don't just keep exactly what's on the preset, because you definitely want to make it your own and you want to have your own unique style to go along with it. Another tip I have for you, if you're still not quite sure like which style you want to go with, is to save photos, like either on Instagram you can save photos, on Pinterest you can make a Pinterest board, Facebook you can save different posts, whatever platform that you use the most and that would be most helpful for you. Just save a bunch of photos that really inspire you and save them all to one folder. So you can go and look at that folder and kind of see what editing style is in there and try to figure out what it is about the photo that inspires you. If it's just the fact that the bride and groom is beautiful and the florals are beautiful, but you're not really drawn to the editing style, that can tell you that maybe you like that style of wedding, but you're not really in that like editing style necessarily. So that can be really helpful just to know. But generally, when you start saving those photos, you're going to get a feel for what kind of photos that you like and what kind of style that you're really drawn to, and then you can use that to help influence your work. So obviously, you don't want to just like straight up copy anyone else, but it can give you a good feel. Like if you're not really sure if you like light and airy, if you're like dark and moody, or somewhere in between, that can be really helpful. I know I even like now will save photos just like to inspire me whenever I'm trying to figure out like planning a style shoot or something like that, just to kind of see what has inspired me in the past and what I want to see my own. Okay, so those tips are really related to your editing style and kind of like what editing style that you're really drawn to, and some tips you can use to help get you there and get you figuring out like what editing style you like. But now I want to go a little bit deeper into your posing style, or like what you're like when you're one-on-one with people at their shoots or their weddings, kind of what your style is there. So like your working style. So I really think when it comes to posing, there really are two main like broad camps. And that is, there's like posing where people are super posy and like even call themselves like posed photographers, or they like have 4 main poses that they like go through with all of their clients and just like modify from there. And then I really think there's another side of it where people are doing a lot of unposed posing. So pretty much the complete opposite of that. And this side of the spectrum does a lot of like prompts and tells their couples to do a lot of things where they're not having to instruct a lot, they're not having to talk a lot. And I would say that you can be on one side, you can be on the other, or you can be a blend of both of those two. I don't think that anything says you have to be like on one side or the other. So I would say I'm definitely more of a blend. I like some of that posy stuff. I like getting some of like both of my subjects looking at the camera, like my couples, or even just one subject. But I know for me, I also like some of those more unposed things. So there's some things that they do that I'm not really crazy about. There's some like posy stuff that I'm not crazy about, but somewhere in between, you can kind of find your own style too. Or if you find yourself like completely loving all of the unposed stuff or completely loving the posed stuff, you totally can go either way. So when you figure out like what you like, if you like the more like posed stuff or the more unposed stuff, you can really start to learn from people who are doing it really well. So if you know you like the more unposed stuff, you can find people who are already doing that and then learn from them. If they offer a lot of posing education, you can learn from that, buy their education, courses, you could mentor with them. There's a lot of different options for whatever works well for you that you can learn more about posing. And on the flip side, if there's people who do more of the posy stuff, then you can learn from them too. This can also be helpful to figure out which side you're kind of on. One, look at those saved images I was talking about earlier and about more what the subjects are doing. Are the subjects more like free flowing and just like super, super candid and nothing is totally perfect, but it's still really like raw and real? Or is it more like posed and perfect and beautiful and like perfectly placed? And so it kind of just depends on what you're more drawn to as far as that goes. And then another thing you can do is just to practice. Get some people who are not paying clients and get them out there and just practice some different things and see what you really like to do. There's no expectations when you do that, and so it's super nice. I even still do it in my business. I still will find couples that I just want to shoot and have fun and have no pressure shooting for a client. Okay, so I do want to mention that all of this can seem super overwhelming and like you're not really sure what your style is. I want to encourage you that one, most photographers are never completely happy with their style. I mean, you get to a point where you feel pretty confident about it and your work is really consistent, but I think a lot of photographers still struggle with like seeing other people's pictures and thinking, oh, like I should have that kind of style, I should do more of that, but staying true to yourself is really going to help you be more authentic and genuine and stand out in your market. So I really encourage you to just find out what works well for you and sticking to that and not swaying to what the different trends are. And the other benefit of this is that your clients are going to know exactly what to expect from you. So if you're all over the place in your lighting, all over the place in your posing, all over the place in your editing, it's going to really kind of show. And if you're posting a light and airy photo one picture and then the next Instagram post you're posting a dark and moody photo, that can be really confusing for clients. They're not exactly sure like what to expect if they book you. So it is really important to have a consistent style and making sure that you're sticking with it. But it's always okay to pivot and change if you find that you're changing and that's not exactly what you want to do with your business. I hope that was really helpful in finding your style. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I can't wait to share more next Tuesday. Bye guys!